Hey everybody, it's Jim, it's Julie, it's episode 279 of Geeking Out. We are 21 episodes away from our final episode. That is correct. We are ending the show at episode 300. But before that, we're hoping to bring back a lot of old friends and some new ones too. And we've got some comics to get to this week.
And in those 21 episodes is a free comic book day preview, so that you guys are all set and ready for the 3rd of May.
Yep.
So lots of exciting stuff coming your way, but not limited. But we won't make you wait too long. We're starting with Daredevil #1 in the all-new Marvel Now.
This is volume something.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. I do know that the last Daredevil volume just finished, and this is to the best of my knowledge, this is the same creative team on this volume.
Yikes.
So, lots of stuff has happened to Matt, aka Daredevil. He's had to set up shop in San Francisco now, and instead of working with Foggy, he is working with an old friend, Kirsten McDuffie. His newest challenge? Finding the kidnapped daughter of Deputy Mayor Charlotte Hastert. But, like always, an operation that seems simple on the outside always has its inner complications.
That is true.
So, I really enjoyed the story in this book. You don't have to have a lot of Daredevil knowledge. In fact, I don't think you really need any Daredevil knowledge coming into it. They give you enough that you can read it, you know how Matt Murdock got his powers, you know what he's done with them, you know that he's moved to San Francisco because his identity is blown. So all those really key aspects of the origin story.
I don't think moving to San Francisco is going to help that your ID has been blown as a superhero.
No, but at least it's a different outlook. I'm sure there are other reasons for his move that they talk about in the previous volume, but I unfortunately was not following that one. Where this book kind of lost me a bit was in the art. The style just didn't appeal to me.
Yeah, it's a bit simplistic at times.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it didn't appeal. However, I'm sure that it will appeal to many people. To the best of my knowledge, it's the same art style. It's the same as what I was familiar with in the previous volume and in Dark Knights, the 8-issue miniseries that just wrapped up. So, if Daredevil is your bag, if you're looking to get into Daredevil, this is a really, really good place to get into it, because he really shows off all of his stuff. You get a really good introduction to him. It's just a really good #1. So, check out Daredevil.
Alright, next up, we have a blast from last month's past. In Starlight, #1. And in this one, Duke McQueen once saved an alien world from destruction. But it happened in a place nobody believes in, during a time no one remembers.
Oh.
Now, years later, surrounded by memories of his late wife and a happier past, his days of being a hero are over. Or, so he thinks.
Maybe so he hopes.
Yeah. Basically, this is kind of a pulp 40s feel type book. Kind of a Flash Gordon-esque style to it. And I like that. This guy is now way past his retirement age and just kind of living on his last fumes and sadness of his wife passing and not being able to connect with his family and stuff like that. So you get a really good sense of who this guy is and why his family is just kind of gone from him.
Oh, that's really nice.
And then the aliens show up again.
Of course.
Looks like they needed more help. But this is another Mark Millar book. And this is far from the Miller style that I'm used to seeing, like in Kick-Ass and other titles. This is more pulpy, and I like that. It's really strange seeing Mark Millar do a almost 40s style pulp book. And like I said, I like it. The art style is simplistic, but so was the art in the 40s.
Yeah.
So it really works here. If you want to check out a new adventure series that's very interesting for a start, check this one out. It's pretty darn good.
Speaking of checking out a new series and giving something a chance, Aquaman and the Others, number 1. So, the Others are under attack as a mysterious player attempts to gather all of the Atlantean relics. Now, this ragtag team has to band together and learn to play nicely, or face certain extermination. This was an interesting story. All of the characters for me were very new, but they have history behind them. And I'm hoping that as the comic progresses, they will reference that. However, I'm not certain in any way, shape, or form. You have a lot of different characters here, and I'm not going to get into it because you get a very basic introduction to them. You learn their name, what their relic is, and basically that it's not working anymore. And then they move on to the next member of the team to bring everybody together with Aquaman.
Who talks to fish?
Yes. And makes really good Batman jokes.
Ah.
So, as a book goes, I found that I felt like the story was a little lacking, but the art is there, there's the potential for it to become really good, and we all know that the new Aquaman's been pretty fantastic, so give this Aquaman a chance. I liked it.
Alright, next up, it's another book from last month's past. It's Anne Bonny, number 1. And in this one, Ariana has always wanted a life of adventure, like her hero, the pirate Anne Bonny. Now, with a key given to her by an old friend, she becomes an unlikely heroine aboard an enchanted ship on a journey to change the world, if she can escape Lord Firestorm first. So,
that's neat.
This is a fun book. Pretty much perfect for all ages. Really fun female heroine in this. Who's obviously going to have a connection to Anne Bonny. But that's obvious. But it's still a lot of fun. And she's a fun character to travel with through the series so far. So if you want to check out something that's really good for all ages and has a really fun female heroine, this would be a perfect fit. Especially if you're a fan of pirates and stuff.
And who doesn't love pirates?
I don't know.
I guess those weird people who are in the ninja camp.
Well, they can always face off with each other.
There we go.
Oh, yeah. I think my favorite part in this is probably that she has kind of a pet phoenix who she keeps blowing up.
At least the phoenix it doesn't have a finite number of lives.
No. So she just kind of accidentally kills it one time. It comes back, bites her on the nose, gets blown up again, and comes back. So I'm pretty sure there will be some more Phoenix death jokes in this, but this was a fun book, and like I said, perfect for all ages. So if you have someone who's a fan of pirates and wants to go on a new adventure with a new character, check this one out. It's a lot of fun.
All right. Last up for me today is Inhuman number 1. And this book had a lot going on in it.
Like, they removed the S. Inhumans.
No. Inhumans is a different title.
It's just going to confuse people nonetheless.
Inhumans dealt with the fallout of the current Atalan Inhumans as they adjusted to life on Earth, whereas Inhuman is the fallout of Black Bolt releasing the Terrigen Mist over Earth as all
Thanks
of these...
a lot, Black Bolt.
Yeah, so we get to see all of these people who are exposed to the Terrigen Mist and then go into the cocoon and undergo transformation and experience with them their first sort of exposure to what it means to be an Inhuman. Now, there are a lot of players in this game. The first of which that we meet is Lash. Lash. I'm going to very quickly double check this because I feel like that is incorrect. Bear with me, please. Nope, I was right. It is Lash.
We don't have to edit that at all.
So, Lash is an Inhuman from one of the rogue tribes that we learned existed in Inhumans #1. And his tribe was a very poor tribe. They were only able to create enough Terrigen mist for a small handful of the population to undergo transformation. Lash was one of the lucky ones who got to, and he believes that the transformation is not a right but a privilege. And he's acquiring some other people's privileges. Let's put it that way. We also run back into Medusa, the Queen of Adelan, who's trying to find Black Bolt and make some sense of everything that's going on. And we're introduced to a new Inhuman, Dante, who's a young man, a drummer supporting his ailing mother, along with his widowed and pregnant sister. And we get to see him undergo transformation and learn that he needs to control the raging inferno inside of him.
Gee, I wonder what his power is.
So, this book had so much going on, but was a really captivating read. They tell the story very nicely, and I love the art style.
The art is very reminiscent of several other things, but it works here.
It really does. I saw a lot of aspects of Treasure Planet and Titan AE in the art style, but I love the use of color. I loved that they preserved a lot of the original pencils. So, I gotta say, I think Marvel is true in saying that this is the first of their newest epic, and I think you guys should check out Inhuman #1.
Before it gets canceled at issue 3.
But it was really good. I enjoyed it a lot.
Alright, and last up in the blast from the months past, we have Steampunk Red Riding Hood one-shot, which has 2 covers.
Which one's the actual cover?
They're both the actual cover.
No, because you opened the book and the book reads one way.
Oh, yes. Then it's this one. Yeah, that one.
Okay.
I had to check.
I understand.
Alright, this is another steampunk fairy tale by Rada Spinoza, who Julie doesn't seem to like art style-wise, but that's okay. His style's not for everyone.
For me, it's the inconsistency. It's the shaky lines, and that it feels to me like the first draft is the only draft. That's what his art conveys to me.
Alright, well, what happens in this one is the big bad wolf gang is ransacking small towns for supplies and food and various other things. And it's up to Granny and Red to stop them. But are the wolves the real enemy, or is someone else?
It's the woodcutter. He's the real enemy, I'm sure of it.
Pretty much.
He killed the wolf to make sure that nobody told.
Pretty much.
Really?
You're not far off. You're not far off.
I was making a guess.
It's Red's father. So, who's an abusive father and not a good person, so, yeah. But anyway, and they make friends with the wolves after.
Yay!
So it all ends happily. And I just ruined the entire book.
Spoiler alert.
Sorry. Rod, you can kick my butt later. Alright, overall, this is another fun steampunk story. Rod's got a very kinetic style that not everyone is used to, just as Julie has explained. But I've always liked it. That's just me. It really does work when you get used to it. For me, anyway. And he's always really good with his characterizations. And you do care about these characters, which is good.
It's always
especially
nice.
in a fairy tale type setting.
Yeah.
And bending it a little bit with different outcomes and stuff like that is always a good idea. Because you don't want to just go over the same ground, even if you're adding steampunk or whatnot.
Exactly.
So, if you're a fan of fairy tales and steampunk, check this one out. It's pretty fun. But it's not for everyone. Alright, so that brings us to the close of another exciting episode. We will be back next week with lots more. So we will see you then. Have a good one.